Today is January 27, 2012, and I welcome you to Brood War Weekly number... I should stop counting number. I think it's 8, but the problem is that if I start counting numbers, it feels more like day 9 daily or whatever, and this is actually an informative show rather than, strategy discussing. I mean, if I wanted to do that, I could just go back to computer screen, do full analysis of Brood War while I suck at only while I'm only C minus in Brood War. So yeah, that's not gonna matter. And normally I start off with the past results, but Altitude Nation Wars and the Gambits Cup just had an All-Stars match, which the results don't really matter that much. Oh my God. Wrinkles on my forehead. Wrinkles on my forehead. I'm getting old. I need to watch out for that. Yeah, it looks like I have a really big wrinkle if I try to do this or something like that. Do I have a hat? No, I don't. Actually, I do. Hold on a second. Sorry for the delay with the Brood War Weekly, but I really can't hear myself right now. You guys can still hear me, I think. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, anyways, continuing on. So, like I said, Gambits Cup just had an All-Stars and All-Stars match, but it did not end. I forgot which matchup it was, and I just had this on the screen, except it just disappeared. So today, Choosy and Missouri went against each other. Missouri won 2-0, but then Choosy actually came back later and then actually won the 8-man invitational bracket, taking home the $50 prize. Very nice there. Could have taken home 80 if he actually won the opening match, but that really didn't happen. My microphone looks a little bit retarded. And closing match, I think, did not happen from what I heard, but it might have happened. I'm not sure. You gotta check up on it later. Why do I have this in my hand? So it's going to be MB.Terror, not the 182838 Terror. The MB Terror is going to go against LRM's Cole, or LRM Thunder, or whatever his ID is going to be on Fish or Icy Cup or whatever. So that's going to be Gambits Cup All-Star is going to be casted by Hacklebeast this Sunday, usual time, I think, 21 CET. I'm not completely sure, but I have to check on that. No, not 21 CET. It's going to be something different. But yeah. So Gambits Cup continuing this Sunday. Now here is some really slightly heartbreaking news, and I don't really have a lot of them. Sorry, something in my mouth. I don't really have a lot of things to talk about with the Brood War news again, except these next two news is actually going to bring into my rant the whole picture that I started last week. And it's going to be, first of all, it's going to be about STXO. No, they're not disbanding. No, they're not disbanding. However, about 10 players who are on the... I forgot what it's exactly called, but they're not on the team at the moment. They're not in the house. They're not practicing with them because they thought that they cannot make enough money. Basically, what they said is that they're on the temporary leave of STXO at the moment, and you don't know what's going to happen to them. One of them actually switched from a full-time pro gamer to amateur status. So yeah, but STX's official stance is that they still have enough B teamers, they still have enough practice partners, so it's not going to affect their team itself that much. But yeah, essentially practice partners and some B teamers actually is thinking about leaving the team, and that also leads us into the news that I did not cover last week, which is about KT Roaster. Suni, Perfectib, and NEP have left KT Roaster after discussing with the coaches. Suni and Perfectib is going to retire and then it's going to go for education or military or whatever they want. NEP is actually thinking about moving on to StarCraft 2, so good luck to those three players and whatever they do in the future. But yeah, I said, quick news. If you want interview translations, you could go to Team Liquid. You could read all of those, so I don't have to translate everything live. But continuing from last week, this is the main thing that's been going on last week and this week also. It's going to be about the NBC game and the future of Korean esports. Alright, so I'm pretty sure not all of you, but some of you actually read my rant on the Team Liquid. And actually, give me a second. Give me 1 second. Screen region. So I'm gonna... What the okay, I don't know what I just added there, but I'm gonna add the screen region just because you can see. So here's the Team Liquid page. in the blog section, I actually had a rant about NBC Game and thoughts about Korean esports. Just chipping in, everything here, long text, but I'm actually gonna summarize that over here as a little couple of things. So I talked about the NBC Game experience last time, about how my how I went there, had really fun, went with my brother, and it was an amazing time. Forgot to tell him that it was the last time. Here's the thing, and I'm actually gonna refer to the blog post because I'm pretty much gonna drift off. Now, Korean, when people say Korea and when people know about games a lot, people say Korea equals Brood War. And I agree with that. But that's the only reason why I agree with that is because Korea has a huge Brood War culture. Let me explain that a little more. In the late 90s, everyone did not really have a computer. So, we were getting, people started buying computers a little bit, but it was still expensive for a lot of people. And the PC Cafe business was the business that you really wanted to take. You really wanted to run PC Cafe. Why? Everyone, this is comparing, this is basically, if it was in America, you could just take $1, go to a PC Cafe, and then play games for an hour. Simple as that. If you don't have a computer, just go there, pay $2 or $3, play 2 to 3 hours of games, or use internet or whatever, because personalized internet, home internet was not popularized until early 2000s back in Korea also. So $1 or $2, use the internet, play games, do whatever you want. They also had adult section. Idiots. Anyways, that was a business you wanted to have. Now, with the booming of the LAN industry, with the PC Cafe, Brood War, original StarCraft also came around during that time when PC Cafe hit really huge in Korea. And this is what happens. The game comes in at a perfect time. It's a perfect LAN game to have. You got one-on-one players, and all the computers connected. You just have a fun one-on-one. While if you play something like Rainbow Six, you actually need a lot of people to play against with. But for Brood War, you only need one person to play against with. So a lot of tournament scenes started to develop, small tournament scenes inside the PC cafes. And what actually happened was the scene was getting bigger and bigger to a point where almost every Korean knew about StarCraft. And this is how first OSL happened. In 1998, actually 1997, I think. In 1997, some producer from Tooniverse, which is a cartoon television programming subdivision of the All Media at the moment. Cartoon television broadcasting station. Actually, one of the producers from that station wanted to do some simulation with the FIFA. No, it wasn't FIFA. World Cup 1998 France. He wanted to use the game and then try to do some simulation. What he wanted to do was use the game as a simulation, put all 32 teams in there, and then cast all the matches starting from the brackets all the way to the finals, and then cast the game as if it were a real game. So they got an actual soccer commentator, and one of the other commentators that's in OSL right now. No, it was the old OSL commentator. So they, got some casters, did that, and that was a huge success. Predict the winner of FIFA World Cup 1998 using a game. That was a huge. I wouldn't say a huge success, because if I say huge success, people think that every Korean watched it. No, gaming culture is still not as big in Korea. Let me clarify something. Gaming culture is large in Korea, but it's not like national thing. Okay? So, but for a cable television show, it was a pretty big success. And the producers started thinking, what if he did this with what if he did casting with a live game instead of a simulation game, where two players actually play each other. And the first game that he thought of was StarCraft. So that's why in 1998, let me look back here. In 1998, the first KPGL Hytale StarCraft tournament was held. Basically, for casting, all they did was take a ping pong table, put let's just say this towel is like a cloth or something like that. They just put it over the ping pong table, and this is how they casted. old ping pong table that was almost broken, and some tower, random clothing, whatever. They just put it over the ping pong table. They cast it. That was it. That was the 1998 Hytale StarCraft tournament, hosted by Tooniverse, and then that actually became a huge success. So after that, that was the first ever StarCraft tournament to be casted on television. There are a lot of small tournaments going on inside Korea, and that was the first one to be televised. So after that, they realized that gaming industry had some potential. So the producer, let me look at the name here. Producer Hwang Hyun-jun. Starts asking around with the upper hands. Starts asking around, and then he finally forms a television channel called OnGameNet. I think everyone knows what OnGameNet is. If you guys actually don't know, then you guys are retards. Here's some hint on what OnGameNet is. That logo. I pronounced it wrong. Oh well. Anyways, that starts off, and then OSL kicks off in 2001. 2001? Yes, 2001. The NBC uppers see the potential in the gaming industry, and they buy a cable television channel called Look TV, which was subdivision of CJ Cable, which is now called CJ Media. So they buy a television, basically TV channel from other company, and they use that and then start off as GameBC, which now became NBC Game, which is now going to become NBC Music. Now, the two companies, OG and NBC, there was always a rival going on in between the companies. It's like which has more viewers, which broadcasting station hosted better tournaments, which broadcasting station actually sponsored a better team. There was actually a OGN versus NBC thing going on in middle of 2007, but it was great. And the match fixing incident happens, and starting from there, the Korean esports industry started going down. Why? But here's the thing: why do people think that Korea equals Korea equals Brood War and Korea equals esports before the match fixing? Here's the thing. If I go back to MyCube OSL finals, I think the audience for MyCube OSL finals, they had more audience than a regular baseball game in Korea, because baseball industry was really bad back in 2003. While the gaming industry was going up, baseball started going down. So esports was about to eat up baseball in terms of fan size. I mean, today I don't think that's the thing, but there was this whole thing about gaming taking over actual sports, and it was really good. And what really struck me, what really amazed me when I first started following Brood War was the fact that there was a team called Air Force Ace. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys know, because you guys hear about this a lot of time. But in Korea, you have to go to military. You have to go to army. It could be Air Force, it could be Marines, it could be just army. Doesn't matter. You have to go to military and serve about 2 years, unless you get exempt because you're really unhealthy or really smart. And for pro gamers, that wasn't the case. Boxer had to go to military one day, and he had to quit programming, quit playing games for 2 years. And then if they don't play the game for 2 years, when they come back, they're not going to succeed at all. With that in mind, and with the to raise the image of Air Force in Korea, Air Force actually decided to step in and then start marketing themselves. And what did they pick? Esports. They could have picked anything that's out on the field, and then start sponsoring that or start promoting them, and they go into Brood War. Like, they start supporting Brood War because they know that a lot of Koreans like it. They know it has a pretty good culture in Korea, and then the Korean military actually sponsors their team so that the pro gamers can actually continue while also raising their image. Like, they use the simulation war game to raise their image. That's Korea. Like, even the Korean government endorses StarCraft because they know that it's a pretty good industry. Like, KESPA is an organization, but from the rumors that I heard, it's also endorsed by the Korean government, and you know, that's why they have those like official